The economy is about ready to reveal the real sad truth. Hey, everybody, it's JJ. It's Thursday, March 11th, 2021. I hope this finds you well today. Thank you for tuning into this broadcast. Now, some of you may be saying, hey, we already know the economy's bad. We've been following the channel. We know the real signs to look for, and things are not good. We know that. So what are you talking about, JJ? Well, I think the masses are going to start realizing what is happening. Let's just take a look at the dollars that were printed just in the past year and how little of an effect they've had on the real economy. Now, some people, these stimulus checks, for example, have helped. We've got the K-shaped recovery. For example, my stimulus check that may be coming by the end of the month. Some people say early April, but this latest stimulus check, the $1,400 per person and per family member to those that qualify, mine will probably go to metals or other digital assets. But other people are just going to have their check spent before it arrives. And I may be in that situation at some point. I may lose my job as this economy continues to deteriorate. Hopefully, I'll build up enough safety net, so to speak, to prevent myself from being homeless. But I think a lot of people are going to be in very, very desperate situations as we continue down this very, very dangerous path. All right, but let's take a look at a recent chart. This one came out a few months ago. We're also going to show you a more recent one, but about 25% now, and this is a couple months old, 25% of all US dollars were created in the past year. So we look back over many decades and we see this is unprecedented. But yet, why are so many people still filing for unemployment, right? This economy is done. It is done. And a lot of people now with the latest stimulus, almost $2 trillion, a lot of people think that's going to actually help. Well, it's going to help some people, but I'm afraid to say most people, it's not going to help much at all. It may pay off some debt. It may get them a month's rent. You know, we've talked about the cost of living. Most of you know that. But after this unprecedented stimulus now that far exceeds what we saw during the financial crisis, right? If we're printing more money now and pumping more money into the markets and into the economy now than the financial crisis, what do we call this next crisis, right? If 12 years ago, 13 years ago now, the financial crisis, 2007, 2008, if that was a financial crisis, now we've had trillions more injected into the economies compared to back then. What's next? What's after the financial crisis? What is ahead of us? Well, we know we've got about 100 million out of the labor force because of the statistics, the way they're twisted and the way they are manipulated. People actually think that the unemployment is going down because that little number that they put out there through the news, that says it's going lower, right? So everything is on a recovering slope. We're going to be back to quote unquote normal pretty soon, right? Well, wrong. And I think people are finally going to realize that after this nearly $2 trillion stimulus. And here's a chart of the real M2 money stock. And we see even more recently here, this is about a month old. So a little more recent, and we see it continues to skyrocket, just about parabolic. But yet, we still have, let's take a look at the latest number on the unemployment. Take a look at this. Just in the past 24 hours, just came out, another 712,000 new unemployment claims. And yet, the next time they put the unemployment number out there, they'll say that the unemployment rate is going down. Why? Because people are long-term unemployed, no longer counted in the phony statistic that's put out there to the general public. And then you may say, oh, JJ, give it time. The nearly $2 trillion stimulus, that's going to have a big impact. Just wait in a few weeks. It's going to drop down to pre-recession levels, no problem. The stimulus package and the checks, you know, they're going to save everybody. Absolutely not. And I wish I had better news for you, but this is the truth. So even after this $2 trillion mega stimulus package, you're still going to see jobs just being bled out of existence. And now we've got more competition for jobs, more companies going to automation, more companies, especially the bigger companies, trying to replace people with technology, robotics, you name it, even self-checkouts. Whereas if we had more small businesses, more mom and pop businesses, you would not see that type of automation being implemented. But when a few mega corporations get in and run pretty much everything, and take up more market share like we've witnessed over the past year with all the small businesses being decimated, now we're at greater risk of having our jobs replaced by automation and tech. All right, and I expect not to have a job probably in the very near future. I hate to put negative information out there because some people say that's kind of jinxing it. I don't really believe in jinxing or jinxes, but I think this economy is deteriorating, and I'm prepared to lose my job. And I've been trying to prepare everybody out there, prepare for the worst, hope for the best, pray for the best. Maybe a miracle will happen, and something will come in here and save this or change this, but I don't really see that happening. There's no leader out there, no lawmaker out there that's really talking about meaningful changes, and this is dangerous. And it wouldn't be so dangerous if they would just tell people the truth, tell people that there is no economic recovery. Why won't they do that? Well, that would be suicide for their own career and their paychecks. Remember, these lawmakers, these leaders, they're multimillionaires. Most of them, they're going to be just fine. They're going to be going off to their private islands on their private jets, most likely. I'm sure most of them have several homes. Maybe they can sell off a home or two. But in the end, most of them will be just fine. That's the way this economy and monetary system is designed, unfortunately. All right, so if people don't wake up after this $2 trillion, maybe they'll never wake up. Maybe I'm being over optimistic there. Right? I mean, what is it going to take to make people realize that there's nothing being done here, nothing being discussed that's going to save this economy, right? It may save some people, it may help some people. Sadly, most of the people that need the help are not the ones getting the help. Okay, so new unemployment filings continue to be a disaster. People collecting unemployment, depending on your state, you may still have to pay taxes on the unemployment that you are collecting, right? How insane is this? How ridiculous is this? People on unemployment are going to have to pay taxes back to Uncle Sam. Isn't that nice? All right, folks. So, wish I had better news for you, but thanks for tuning in. The bottom line is the money printers, they're going to own everything. They're going to run everything. What happens when people at the top, they have so much money they don't know what to do with? Well, then they go to other goals, and that's power. They're going to want more power. They want everyone in poverty. We are going to be basically debt servants, in my opinion. Even people that are doing well now, I think you're going to see drastic changes here. Just as each day goes by, you're going to see different things happen, just like today's report. No improvement really in the unemployment. The positive spin on the unemployment new filings was that it could have been worse, right? It could have been worse. You can say that about everything, right? You can get into a car accident and break your arm and break your leg and get out of the hospital and say, well, at least I didn't have 2 broken legs and 2 broken arms. It always could have been worse, but that doesn't mean it's good. You're still busted up from the car accident. And that's what this economy is. It's one big brutal car crash. And I hope the country survives this, but I don't think this country is going to look anything similar to what it's looked like previously. As time continues, you're going to start seeing the ugly truth continue to be revealed. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Stay well, stay safe, stay prepared especially. Thank you for watching this report. Bye for now. Peace.